as hard as I could. I'm aware of the should. Should I change if I could without? What's the difference it makes if we all end up in chains? A friend that is never around isn't a friend at all. If I never pick up the phone, do I exist? Maybe that's the play. Played it in my head, worked out just fine. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm gonna try to run through a bunch of original songs I have and make a list, and then hopefully use that to kind of plan some recording sessions so I can get some of this music actually released. Am I always the one to call? Can it be you first? Rejection feels the worst. Pressure to get me just right. Yep, this is mine. Never gets it right. Something from Red Hot Chili Peppers? Sure, in a little bit. Trying all of the time. A friend that is never around isn't a friend at all. When met with the silent approach, do I respond or just sulk in fear? Hurts to understand. What choice do I have? Do I have a choice? Or am I just wrong? Can you even tell? Do you even care? Of course. Do I have control? Of course, Larinka. Hey, Mia. Play Piano Man, play Piano Man, play Piano Man. Yeah, chill out. Chill out. We don't need that much spam. You can just say it once, or you can say other things if you want. You don't have to just say the same thing over again. Thank you. Hey, Turkey Man. How's it going? Nice hair. How did I do that? It's called taking a shower. Although I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. Hey, Knopf. You're right. I can't play Piano Man. It's too hard. I know it's wrong. I'm playing my own version of it, because yes, the actual version. So the actual version, what? It's all humongous leaps. So. We'll get to some of this stuff. Everybody welcome in. Yeah, we're not just doing requests here. We're having conversations. I'm playing some original music. I might do some classical later. Am I having a good Friday? Yeah, overall I'd say it's pretty decent. I did not get very much sleep last night, but I did get a run in already. So, and it's like 70 degrees here, which I know to everyone out in Europe is probably sounding like I'm about to die, but I mean 7 degrees Fahrenheit. Pehila Nasha, Fly Me to the Moon, or Idea. Again, we can get to some of this stuff, but I'm gonna try this original idea. So hold on, I can't do it in my head. 70 F to C, let's see. 21 degrees in Celsius. So it's like perfect temperature outside. Which piano is this? This is an FP90. Very, very good piano. Well, keyboard, you know what I mean. Another day, another time. Hey, Chopin enthusiast. What paper takes, what will rhyme? Subtle clothes, redefine. Enter in to disguise. Worthy words float into space until they find my mind is crawling into feelings. It just needs to fall away. Somehow you find the words to make it sting and spread and fall away. Just fall away, just fall away. How does it feel? Can't you just sympathize with these eyes? It all goes away. It's so cold in Sweden I can literally go and ski in my backyard. Oof. Yeah, let me answer some of these questions. Hey, voice cracks are the new style. Have you heard Chapel Roan before? Voice cracks are in. Actually, that's totally not true. People still do this hyper-polished junk, which I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, there's some minor nights in there. Hey, Ken. Good to hear from you. Michael Jackson style. Exactly. It's just modern yodeling. Okay. You guys threw out a couple questions I want to answer because I like to try to be helpful in these. Because I do this. Is this you, Passion? If yes, then how do you find it? I don't even know what that means. Maybe that's a song. Okay, Let's talk about sight reading first. Someone asked, what are good pieces to start out when I'm learning sight reading? I'm going to give you my basic advice, but then I probably need more specifics to help you. So the basic advice would be that use a hymnal or Bach chorales, because you're going to get 4 lines that you can read. Now, the honest truth is, though, if you're just starting sight reading, that even by itself may be too overwhelming. So you may be better off like Faber, the people who do all sorts of learning books. Maybe you don't need to know how to learn music, right? They have anthologies specifically for beginner pieces, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. It's not the level system like Royal Academy. They're just different things like that. They are really, really good at finding pieces. So like the first level, amazing, just quick sight reading pieces. Then level 2 is really, really good. Off topic, but do people tell you that you look kind of like Mark Zuckerberg? That is literally the first time I have ever heard that, John Doe. That's pretty impressive. Don't listen to Bonsai. He doesn't know what he's talking about. River flows in you. Yeah, we can do that in a little bit. To answer the second question about you feeling kind of stuck on the piano and you want to move on and you want to get better, first of all, you're not alone. I think every single person on here can talk about times that they felt stuck if they played piano for more than, let's say, 2 years. You've been playing piano more than 2 years, you've definitely gotten stuck in the past. So I will tell you my specific strategy, and then maybe that will help you out. I like to kind of compartmentalize all my different like piano interests. So I do a little bit of improv and jazz. I do classical. I do some pop. I do technique work. I do theory work. I compose, and that makes a lot of ability to have outlets, so you never get really stuck. That's the important thing. Wow, Lucifer is telling me hello. Hello, Lucifer. Fun. Rainfall by R.E.S. Learn these tips by heart. Good. That's kind of the benefit of a chat like this is you get to, for new people, they may hear something they never heard before. But for people who aren't new, you're going to just be able to hopefully get to the point where these are just built in to you. And which is one of the reasons I like to say them so much. All right, Will the Rain Fall? Here we go. You want this song? How's it going? Pretty decent. How difficult are rondos compared to other types of classical music? I don't know if that's exactly the type of question you think it is. So rondos is another genre style. Well, rondos is not a genre. It sort of kind of is, but rondo is a form style, right? So a rondo, yeah, no problem, Dandy's Adventure. Rondos are going to be A, B, A, C, A, D, A, E, A, F, A, G. That would be like saying, how hard are song form pieces versus A, B binary form pieces, or how hard is march form versus whatever. So The River by Susan Labar. Again, there's a few things that we always talk about in this channel. The first is, do I look like Mark Zuckerberg? And the answer is, I've never heard that question before, and yes, I am Mark Zuckerberg. The second question that we always get is, do I know a song? And the answer is no, I don't know any songs ever. I've never heard of music in my life. I don't know what this is. Someone just put it in front of me and we just see what happens. Am I doing song requests? Yeah, I'm doing a few. We're just kind of mixing it up. It's Friday. I haven't had a chance to stream very much this week. So I'm kind of doing a bit of a variety thing. I'm trying to get through some of my original music because I kind of want to plan out maybe recording some of it. Be nice to record it tomorrow. Tomorrow may be too busy. We'll see. Yes, it's Ode to Rushy. That's true. There we go. That is Ode to E. I should probably put some of these out there. Maybe I can get some traction as covers. Ode to E. You're talking about classical music, how you make up something really complicated. 1 foot ahead, 1 foot at a time, basically. I already did Golden Hour a little bit earlier. This isn't really a just play all the requests channel. I'm happy to play a few. Some days I play more than a few. Thank you. Thanks for the sub, by the way. Yes, it is. A friend of ours painted that. Any Bowie? I was so frustrated about this car. So my kids were like, Dad, we should do something cool for your birthday. And I'm like, whatever. And they're like, what if you got a Lego car that actually could drive? And I'm like, sure. So we looked at Target and there was a Lego model that could drive. And so it was like, okay, all right, let's build this sucker. It was missing, I kid you not, 12 pieces. 12 pieces. Lego is starting to slip. So so I did that, and so sure enough, they did send me the extra pieces. Still, by the way, I was missing even more pieces as I went further on. It was kind of a frustrating experience. It took me like 3 months to build the car because I couldn't get the next pieces. But oh, you just got your piano? That's awesome. Is fine. I can do it. Wake up, you sleepy head. Put on some clothes, shake off your bed. Put another log in the fire for me. I made some breakfast and coffee. Look out my window, and what do I see? A crack in the sky and a hand reaching down to me. All the neighbors came today. It looks as though they're here to stay. Any Bowie enjoyers out there? Hey Levi, happy birthday, nice. Congrats, happy birthday. I'm not a beautiful melody and simplistic harmony kind of guy. I have complex and fast stuff, and that's pretty hard to do with classical music on piano, especially if I don't play piano that well. Gotta just keep on practicing. Vivaldi Summer, Space French Fuse. I haven't heard of, well, I know Vivaldi Summer, but let's go to, we can grab some of this. You want to hear, what genre, how should we play Happy Birthday? All right, let's grab Space French Fuse and then Vivaldi Summer. I always forget which one's which. Oh, this is the why? Okay, so why was Vivaldi like? You want Rush F instead? Okay, sure. We're gonna do Rush F. Alter Ego. Like it. Ragtime. Play it ragtime. We'll do Rush F and then we'll do Happy Birthday Ragtime. there such thing as country and piano? Oh, 100% there's country and piano. Yeah. Live broadcast appeared on my homepage. Well, that's good. I'm glad I'm getting some shout out. I am in the United States. Interesting. Do you want F sharp there? I'd like to hang out with Mark Zuckerberg to see which one of us is in better shape. He's like only a couple years older than me, and like we've both been working out a lot. I think he would definitely destroy me if we were actually doing a martial arts thing, because he studies martial arts and I don't. Look, King Paul, you want to be shouted out? There you go. You're shouted out. From India, sweet, Vinjoy. Yeah. All 3 times. What would it sound like if the wolf was hunting down its prey? Interesting. Play like him? Channel Mark Zuckerberg for April Fools. That's pretty funny. So I'm trying to actually come up with a good version of this, because all the piano versions kind of are terrible. I can't play as good as you, but I can play. Well, hey, that's all there is. Got any tips? Just started out. I can help you out. Ooh, and I want to answer a question before. How hard is pathetic? Pathetic. That's hilarious. Pathetique. Where did I learn piano? I started out the traditional way, at least back in the 90s, which is old lady piano teacher, and then jumped around a bit. Pretty much I always had a piano teacher, though. White Stripes, 7 Nation Army, the legendary tune. Sure, Zelensky. theme song. Again, most of this music, I know that, but like Rat Dance, I don't have any clue what Rat Dance is. We'll look it up. I'm sure it's a meme song. These always are. And then, yeah, I don't personally know Victor Wooten. I've met him a couple times. He's a cool dude. Masters of the Year theme song. Okay, I want to talk about a couple of things people brought up. So let's talk about piano tips. Yeah, I do create my own music. Let's talk about piano tips. The first, I'm gonna lump this into 3 categories: beginner, and intermediate, advanced. So beginner, here's your big piano tip. Your big piano tip is going to be to we'll do it this way. Big piano tip is going to be to learn the note names dead solid. And if you can do that, learn your scales. Learn note names dead solid, scales. I don't want you looking up at the music or learning by ear and being like, wait, is this an A? Is that a D? Don't do that junk. Same with the flats and the sharps, right? You just need to be able to go F sharp, B flat, C sharp, all that business. Then if you can do that, you can do some scales. For intermediates, you're looking at music, keep your eyes either on the music or on the piano. Not both. Don't be doing this. Don't be making yourself seasick. And then for my advanced people, I would say always have a long-term goal. Always have something in the future that you're headed towards, and if you don't get there for 5 years, that's okay. You're just trying to slowly but surely work towards that. That's how I would approach that. In terms of Pathétique Sonata is kind of, I'd say, right in the middle-ish to maybe the lower end of, maybe not lower end, probably right in the middle-ish of difficulty for Beethoven sonatas. Rondo Capriccio by Mendelssohn, and then I See Beautiful Things. Sure, we can throw some of these on here. Have you ever played a grand piano? I mean the P-shaped one? I got one upstairs that's a baby grand. I played many grand pianos. I played Victor Borge's grand piano, if you remember that internet piano comedian. I played 9-foot grands. I've played $250,000 grand pianos. I've played cheapo grand pianos. I've played a lot of pianos in my life. Rondo Capriccioso. The Allegro part. Wonder if this actually has written what the Allegro... Sorry. You were saying the Presto part. What time is it in here? 1:51. I play any other instruments? Yeah, sorry, you were asking that earlier. I play guitar, bass, drums, and sing. So all the rock instruments, but piano, it's like, I'd say piano, like without trying to toot my own horn, I'm a very good piano player. I'm an okay everything else. Awesome, King Paul. So I know besides the United States, the solfege is a very popular system. I'd highly, highly encourage also learning letters too. I just think it's really helpful. Maybe not as helpful in other parts of the world, but pretty much everybody in the United States uses letters. So if you're going to interact with at least musicians around here, I also think it's just both have their merits. I think the big problem with using do is you either have to do fixed do, which exercises for beginners that are also musical pieces like Chopin's. Interesting. Let me think about that a little bit more. So let me finish this about do versus letters. So fixed do is cool because you can just always hear that C. I think it's a great way to develop perfect pitch. But the problem with fixed do is you're not really learning relative ear training. You're only learning sort of perfect pitch, right? You're learning to identify things always in relationship to C. Let's say you're in an F sharp major, then you're always doing these weird adjustments. And then movable do is fantastic for relative ear training. It's fantastic to understand how songs work, but then you're not really getting an idea of how to interface with your instrument. So my personal preference is movable do plus learning the letters, but that's what I'd say. So all right, we're gonna do a couple covers, and then I'm gonna answer some more questions. Yeah, this is totally weighted. Do you need something, girl?
Yeah, I don't feel it.
Okay. Why don't you go lie down in this bed over here?
Dad,
Yes.
is it true that you said that we can't do iPad this week?
Yes. Yes.
What? We're perfectly good at it.
Go lie down. I'll be up in just a second. There we go. Let it be. Oh, how hard is that to play fast? This is very much like a real piano. Okay, lots of really good questions. Can you sing Rushy? Yabba dabba 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 rushy 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 rush rushy rush 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 rushy rushy rushy. Oh, how hard is that to play fast? So you'd want to throw on the metronome. I hate that it defaults to the stupid metronome downbeat. I hate downbeats on metronomes. So we're gonna put this to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5. And then the left hand, bump, da-da-dum, bum, 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 da-da-dum, bum, 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 da-dum, bum, da-dum, bum, dum, bum, bum. This is a Roland. You were asking about the weight of these. This is very similar to a piano. This is about as good as it gets for a keyboard, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not. It just doesn't feel like a real piano. It feels really good, but it doesn't feel like a real piano. Now we get faster. Then we get faster. Let's do that one again. Yum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum. 15 years old, awesome. How's everyone doing? Oh, doing good. Chopin enthusiasts. So this is what you're gonna do. If you really actually wanted to show this off, you would start with this metronome in the super, super, super slow. You go. And get this super clean. And then what you do is you keep building that up until you could get it really, really fast with the metronome on eighths. This is the Presto from Rondo Capriccio. It's the same spot. The camera's on the other side. Someone else was asking why I change spots all the time. It's all logistical. So, just to give you a small window into my life, I have 5 kids. I am a regularly performing traveling musician. I have multiple other responsibilities. I run my own small business. And so all of those things pull me in different directions. So I'm trying to build up this brand to the point that this is a big part of my income. But being perfectly honest, as much as this is fun, this is not a big part of my income. So it always comes last in terms of everything I'm doing, which means it's mostly where's my keyboard set up, where's my phone, and then figuring out how to make those two work. So I'd like to say there's a grand plan. There really isn't. Chopin enthusiast. I want to give you 2 general ideas with learning classical music. You can't be thinking of learning the whole thing. You can't be thinking of learning the whole thing from the beginning. Just learn little bits at a time. Like, you know, it's that very old saying that is bizarre when you really think about the context of it, where it's like, how do you eat an elephant? And it's just one bite at a time. I don't know if you've ever heard that saying, but that's really true of practicing classical. So now we're doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh. I don't like that yet. Let's go a little slower. And then we go a little faster. And I've scared everyone off. Wonderful. There we go. We did it. It's Omegle and local playing. City centers love a good piano. It's fun having a good piano. If you keep being productive like that, you'll turn into the next Zuckerberg. I'm about 15 years I think even more than that. I think he was a teenager when he started Facebook. As crazy as that is. Mark, how's Meta? One page of this rondo a week. That is a lofty, but also a good goal for sure. For sure. How are the kids doing? Hope they're feeling better. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, they're in general doing better. They're definitely doing better. Still a lot of late nights, a lot of different things. Oh, thanks so much, Chirag. Oh, lofty, meaning high up, a high up goal. Hey, Rashad. Appreciate it, Chirag. Yeah, no, the internet startup thing as well, like, I don't know. I've really been trying to figure out. No, very much appreciated it. No, the kids are doing pretty well. I have this theory, which again, this is getting far outside of music, but no, they'll greatly appreciate that. I'm actually gonna take them to a Pokemon store tomorrow. Get them some Pokemon packs because they've been pretty well behaved in the midst of craziness. Because I have this theory that those months in almost a year of lockdown kind of just made everybody's immune system a little weaker, and then we got all the bugs all at once, and we're still not recovered. I don't know. That's how I feel with my kids, because like literally in the past it would be like one sickness per season, and now it's like every time we have like a million sicknesses every spring. It's like never ending sickness. So frustrating. Have I ever played any Disney songs? Yes, I've played Disney songs. Oh, Take On Me? I'll do Take On Me. We're doing a little bit of everything. That's right. I always have to think about it a little bit. Ooh, that's kind of fun. That's not right though. What I do for a living, Dreamwave. That is what I do for a living. I'm getting a new PC tomorrow, and then I can start composing properly because writing notes on paper sucks. It's such a good part. I love writing notes on paper. I need to do that more. You got eyes on your hands and fingers. Lots and lots of practice. if you want to get good at doing that type of thing, you just need to practice never looking at your hands and then just sort of getting used to that. What's my favorite Hans Zimmer composition? Okay, let's get into the weeds just a little bit about movie music, and I'm gonna say things that you may or may not agree with. Hans Zimmer is to Christopher Nolan what, let's say, John Williams is to Martin Scorsese. And let me try to explain that a little bit more. I think Christopher Nolan is an extremely important director. I think his movies are extremely important. I would say I somewhat enjoy watching them. None of them are my favorite movie. I'm just being honest. None of them really are. That's very similar to how I feel about Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is an incredibly important composer right now. He writes very good music for these movies. None of it really rates very highly in my own personal enjoyment. And again, they kind of are a match made in heaven, kind of like a Danny Elfman, Tim Burton sort of combo. Probably losing all my classical people with the film nerd talk, but it's just true. That's what I would say in general. It's just like, it's not really my cup of tea. Like John Williams is way more not a big movie watcher unless it's a music related movie. So when I was a kid, I grew up in the VHS era, and we, like, one of the things that we'd bond with my dad about, because he was always gone on trips, is he would rent, we'd go to the movie store and we'd rent a bunch of VHSs. I have not seen Whiplash. I kind of am avoiding it because I hate that stereotype of jazz. Michael Giacchino is the guy who wrote Up. Yeah, good stuff. Would I like to be the principal pianist of an important orchestra? That is one of those jobs that I definitely would not want. Pianist for an orchestra, I would not want. I would not want to be the pianist for a musical or on Broadway. I've done musicals before. I'm just not a fan. Like, I'm convinced that one of the circles of hell is probably being in the tech week of a musical. What's a favorite movie of mine? There's actually a few that I've watched recently that I've really, really enjoyed. I really liked Pig, which is like Nick Cage. And then, yeah. So anyway, I was going to say Chopin Enthusiast. As a kid, I watched a bunch of movies. Then I fell out of it in college and just wasn't as important. And then lately, I've really started seeing movies as art. And when you watch movies as art, it's really a different experience because it's like listening to music as art. So you're like picking up, you're like, oh, that was a cool maneuver they did there. Look at the color grading. Like, what was it? What is it? Movie. King Tide. I watched King Tide recently. Super cool. How does it feel to play piano in front of a large crowd? What if you make a mistake? I've made tons of mistakes. I literally made a mistake on Happy Birthday in front of a large crowd this past Saturday. That does not feel very good, but you have to realize people don't pay attention live. You'll hear recordings and you'll notice a lot of mistakes, but the emotions make it overwhelm all those mistakes. What aligns closer to the music of your heartstrings? The type which makes you fall into each note and sires your focus wholeheartedly? That sounds like a smutty poem, I'm not gonna lie. That's really weird. But cool. Find the nearest voicing for a 5 chord in the song and walk off stage. No, here's the deal. So Well, okay, I'll tell you a story, and then I'm gonna play an original of mine, and then I'll probably wrap this up for today. So I was playing. There's this introduction for in one of the bands. It goes like this. So I'm doing that, and I totally botched it. I landed on the wrong note going down. And then I just kept on going. It was the start of a show in front of like 2,000 people. Nobody cared. Nobody noticed. The band didn't notice. The crowd didn't notice. Why? Well, imagine I do that, right? Oh, I did something wrong there. Who cares? You're just improvising at that point. So having that ability to just laugh at yourself and not take it so seriously and just keep on going, totally not a big deal. Oh, I completely disagree, Chopin enthusiast. I guarantee most of the recordings you're listening to going, hey, they're playing flawlessly. There's tons of mistakes in them. I love historic recordings. Anything pre-1990, I love to listen to because they were honest. There's actually mistakes in them. When you listen to a post, guess what? They're just splicing takes. Even the live recordings, they're splicing takes. Like, so you watch a live video and they're taking elements of pre-recorded things and putting them in as clock. Drives me crazy. Okay, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but I want to answer this. Yeah, only performers notes. You're totally right, Rashad. It's like it's an inner game. It's totally an inner game. And classical people are literally the worst with editing and covering up mistakes. They are so prideful with making sure everything's accurate. Jazz is kind of fun because jazz musicians almost lean into it. So they're a lot more open. Although jazz musicians, they have a similar thing. Like there's a little stutter when you can't quite think of something to get yourself out of a hole improvisatorily. And they will definitely try to cover that up. They don't want anybody to know, right? And again, I see it both ways. On the one hand, we're performers. We're trying to avoid people seeing our weaknesses. But on the other hand, and that's okay. On the other hand, it's a little dishonest. It can be definitely come across as dishonest. All right, I want to answer two specific questions. Then actually, I won't do Death Note, but I will play an original of mine that's similar to Death Note. How about that? And then we will call it a day for this stream. I want this one. Do boo 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 boo. Oop! I gotta close it because it totally screwed up on me. There we go. Okay, so the two questions I want to answer is first, what is the most difficult thing you have played on piano? I'm really not a massive fan of that type of question. If you have been around this stream long enough, you know I get all crazy when people mention difficulty. And that's because difficulty is a very complicated concept. I think most difficulty is conceptual in nature, which means that the standard changes as you get better. So something that is really challenging when you are younger and you don't know very well becomes easier and easier. Now, there are certain technical challenges. Like, for example, if I just crank the metronome, right? A scale is easy. Right? And then I can do 16ths. But then I could just keep going the metronome up. Oh. I could keep going up even more, right? And at some point, I won't physically be able to do that. That's difficulty. That's more of a physical difficulty. And I've done a bit of both. I've played Hungarian rhapsodies. I've done piano concertos. Those have a lot of physical difficulty. But I would say conceptual difficulty to me is the more interesting one. In pieces like this, to me, have a lot more charm in what makes them difficult, because that really is making you go, ooh, what's going on there? So anyway, that's that difficulty question. Instruments and difficulty with instruments. Now, this is a more interesting question. Piano is by far and away the easiest instrument. 100% the easiest instrument. But piano has the hardest instinct. I would say violin, piano, guitar, saxophone. That would be like my top 4 list of like, you want to be the best of the best, you're probably going to do some of those. Who was screaming over there? Probably one of my kids playing upstairs. What attract? So yes, it is actually, that prelude is one of those pieces that people play casually all the time, and yeah. So piano, guitar, sax, violin. Let's just talk about those 4 for just a second. Piano starts the easiest and gets incredibly hard by the end, and kind of just linearly goes up. Once you put your hands together, the difficulty just keeps going up, going up, going up, going up until it's basically impossible. You got freaks out there. Marc-Andre Hamelin is one. Michel Camille's another. Insane. Guitar starts much harder at the beginning, but then levels off and has this really nice point. Once you learn guitars, you can voice an F major chord. You're like set on guitar for like years, and like it's so easy to get better at guitar. But then you hit another difficulty spike. I'm there right now. Like, I can play most basic songs on guitar, but then I go to solo, or I go to like do some more complicated idea, and then I really would have to practice. Violin, even harder than guitar at the beginning. But again, it's a single line instrument. I think this is what people don't understand when they're comparing difficulty to different things. The only other instrument like piano is drum set. Drum set has this extremely hard mastering component because of the multi-limb element of it. So that's what I would say. Marcus Warner, I'm sure I've heard some stuff that he's done. And then what was the other? Oh, saxophone. Saxophone may actually be one of the only instruments that may be the same difficulty as piano at the beginning. It's very easy at the beginning. Is Liszt looking down at us? You know, I think there's actually pianists now that are probably better than Liszt, just because of the nature of standing on the shoulders of giants. But anyway, this is my thing. That's a Death Note inspired. Hold my fugue in four voices. Oh, thanks, Chirag. Yeah, so that's the original mine. I think I called it War Theme. I need to actually do some stuff. I play percussion in my local orchestra, and it's true you must have a lot of sensitivity for each percussion instrument. Yep, percussion and piano are remarkably similar, which kind of makes sense because they are like piano as a percussion instrument, in the sense that like you start out and it's really easy. Like to play a drum is really easy. Anybody can play a drum. You just throw your stick down. But then you talk about double sticking, triple sticking. You talk about sticking patterns. You talk about flams. You talk about accents. You talk about all these different techniques. And then you talk about every different percussion instrument. And then you talk about drum set. And boom, you're talking about one of the most complicated instruments to actually play well. I was about to say that nobody writes insane music like this nowadays, but I'm sure there's some freaks out there. Yeah, absolutely. There's tons of it. That's the crazy thing about the time period we're in right now, is there's a ton of just extremely talented people doing crazy, crazy things. They're just all kind of hidden these days, all over the place. There's a self-selection process that's a little worrisome on the internet. Like, a Liszt would have done well. A Chopin may have done well in this time period. But like a Haydn probably would have just gotten buried in the time period that we live in now. Because you need either a really quirky personality or a very charismatic personality to succeed now, I think. So anyway, thanks everybody so much for watching. Peace out. We probably will get in another live stream tomorrow, Sunday maybe, and then I'm gone in South Carolina the next like 3 days. Somebody was asking my streaming schedule. It's still a mess. It's gonna be a mess until my wife stops working, and then it'll be a little more stable. So, all right, peace out. Bye.